To hear it. Love it. Welcome, Aaron. Good morning, Aaron. Quick audio check.
Good morning. Everything's great. Happy New Year, everybody. Glad to be here.
Happy New Year to you. Awesome. Good morning, Kelly. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
And we've got Joe. Good morning, Joe. How are you doing?
Good morning. Happy New Year. How are you guys? I'm doing great.
Fantastic. Well, we appreciate you all being here. Don't see Jeff just yet unless I've missed Jeff.
Dave, I'm running mobile. My avatar seems to be stuck in the entryway of the world. So if I can get him in, great. If not, we'll run point like this. So.
Hey, we've got you loud and clear. I want to say thank you for moderating today. I'll turn it over to you and let this ICONversations get rolling. Appreciate you, everybody.
Awesome, guys. We appreciate you hanging around after the meeting just to kind of dive into this. And we really wanted to bring something a little different today. We had chatted a little bit about what these typically look like. And with it being a new year, we thought maybe we talk a little bit about goal setting, some of what we do personally, some of what we do from a business side, and talk through both as a seasoned agent and as a new agent, probably realistically what goals should look like for you going into the new year here in 2021. So I want to take a minute. We'll kind of get started. We've got 4 awesome agents up here that are ready to share some information with you. So Joe, why don't we start with you? You want to give a quick introduction on yourself?
Yeah, sure. My name is Joe Simonette. Been with EXP for a little over 2 years. Was with Keller Williams prior to that. Ran a team over there, then saw the opportunity with EXP and switched. Been in the business for 16 years. My team consists of 7 agents, a couple ISAs, and 2 licensed admins. 2020 was definitely an interesting year for us. I'm located in Olympia, Washington, which is about an hour south of Seattle. So things during the pandemic over here shut down for quite a while, about a month and a half or so. So we definitely had to shift and pivot, but looking forward to 2021 and seeing what that brings.
Absolutely. I think we're all excited to get going here in the new year. Kelly, what about you? Share a little bit about your team and your setup and what you've got going.
Sure. I have been with EXP. I'll actually be vested on March 1st. So it'll be 3 years. And I've been in the business for a little over 6 years. And I have a little branch office. I'm located in Wheatland, California, which is about 30 miles north of Sacramento, California. And I do have a small team, mostly new agents that I'm mentoring, as well as a licensed admin as well. And it's been a great year this year. I should say my personal volume was at 18.3 million, which is a record for me.
That's an awesome number. Congrats on that. Aaron, how about you? Want to introduce yourself to us?
Sure. Good morning, everybody. Aaron Taylor, the real estate guy here in Las Vegas. Just letting everybody know out there, we pay a 30% referral fee on every referral that's given to the real estate guy in Las Vegas. Taking every single opportunity in 2021 this year to surpass our goals from 2020. Very excited about it. Looking forward to, we hit our numbers in 2020, and we're looking forward to really pushing ourselves in 2021, not just in transactions and volume, but also in agent attraction as well. I've been doing this for 26 years. I have 4 great assistants, property manager, we have a flipping division, and a great marketing manager with several solid agents on our team. So we're excited and we're ready to go. And I'm so grateful to be with EXP. I've been with EXP now for 2 years and 2 months. I owned a company with 116 agents prior to this. And looking back, probably like most of us that's been with the company a couple, 2 or 3 years, we ask ourselves the one question: why didn't I do it sooner?
No, I'm absolutely right there with you. Hey, Kevin, I know you are out in New Mexico. Give us a little update, what you guys have going.
Well, I'm Kevin Mullaney from Albuquerque, New Mexico. I've been with EXP since 2012. I think I'm agent number 309 or something. I went to our first national conference and there was 10% of the company there. That was 60 people. So I've been around a little bit. I've gotten to see EXP grow. It's been exciting. Seeing it grow from 300 agents to now 40,000. I've been very blessed in this business, very blessed with EXP. I've been an Icon agent with them for the last 5 years. 3 years ago, I started over in real estate by starting a team, and I was literally like restarting my career. However, that team's now grown to the top 25% in our market. I'm really proud of them. I'm sure anybody who's run a team has seen a lot of turnover, and that's just kind of the process. But I think I've got a solid team now. We're hoping to be top 25, not in our percentage, but in our volume. And right now I do roughly 20 million a year personally, and that's between 50 and 60 homes in our market. And my team does another 10 million on top of that. So we're moving.
That's great. Aaron, I want to come back to you. Our first question I kind of want to dive into a little bit is 2020, and did you hit your goals? I know you just made mention that you kind of did hit that goal. Tell us a little bit about what you had set for 2020 and what you guys accomplished.
Sure. So 2020, our goal was 300 transactions and 80 million. That's combined MLS new homes and our flip. And we did hit that goal. And I don't think we pushed ourselves enough. So for 2021, we're going to hit 500 transactions and 120 million. 17,000 real estate agents and teams in the state of Nevada. We're ranked number 7. And I don't think if we don't go for number 1 and say it out loud and write it down and really just feel it with every part of my body that we're going to hit 500 and be number 1, we're not going to. So our team talked about it. We put some strategies in place to do it. We started doing that in October. And I think we're going to be well on our way to hitting that 500 transaction mark in 2021.
No, those are big numbers, and I love people who just put it out there and say, hey, this is what my goal is. I'm going to be number 1. I'm going to get there and get on top. That's super impressive. Kelly, what about you? What did you guys set? What was your 2020 goals, and did you guys hit it?
Yeah, so I had a personal goal of closing 50 transactions for 2020, and I ended up closing 61. So at some point, I just got so busy that I lost count, and I just did my year-end numbers earlier this week, and I was quite surprised that I had closed 61. So it was a lot of work. It was a really busy year, but I'm super excited about passing that goal.
That's awesome. Congratulations. Joe, how about you? What were the goals for 2020?
So the goals for us were to help 180 families. In 2020, 2019, we helped 160 families. We fell short of that goal. We lost about 1.5 months worth of production. So our goal this year is to, again, exceed that goal of helping 160 families. So we have a goal right now of helping 180 families this year.
I love that. I've got one guy on my team that is absolutely how he works. And when we sit down and talk, I've never heard a dollar amount come out of his, mouth with anything. It's always about number of families he wants to help and the mindset. I think it's really good and important that everyone has the opportunity to, kind of set their goals in the right way. I think if you're setting a money goal for someone that's not necessarily driven by that, or a volume goal for someone who's not necessarily driven by that, they're not going to have success. So I think that's really cool hearing you say that.
Yeah, it's definitely a mindset thing and a mind shift. So that's kind of what we try to drive home with our agents.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, Kevin, what about you? 2020 goals, what were they, and did you get there?
So my number 1 goal in 2020 is a little bit more personal, but it was to have a son, and I nailed it. I've got a beautiful little baby boy, and first and foremost, that's super important to me. But on the production side, I had a personal goal to hit Icon agent for the 5th time. I was able to do that, and then I had a team goal to hit 100 transactions. So I know I'm riding the stage up here with people throwing around some very big numbers, and that's very exciting. But for us in our market, I was very happy to get close to our goal of 100 families helped, which we got close. We hit 85. And then of my team's goals, we went through them at the end of the year, and of my team, they hit about 90% of their own personal goals. And so for me, that's something I could sleep easy on at night and be excited about for them. And, you know, you made a good point that some people's goals are not necessarily what you set for them. And so I think it's important to have them to understand their own. I once had a team agent or an agent on my team that said, you know, I don't want to do the kind of production you do because I want to have, you know, more of a personal life. And so I took what my goals were for her, took a step back, and then asked her what her goals were. And I've realized that setting realistic goals for them need to come from them. And so this year, my goal will be to help my team more in hitting their own personal goals as well.
Man, you couldn't have teed up what I want to talk about any better. I mean, I had the exact same situation happen. I had an agent on my team. So I guess I didn't give you guys a quick introduction. I am out in North Carolina in the Lake Norman market, just north of Charlotte. We have a team of 12 as of right now. We really worked last year with a team of 9. And, you know, in setting goals, we've done a couple different things over the last few years. We've done team volume goals. We've done individual agent goals. Last year was unique. We tracked just the production of the team, not the 2 team leads. We took our production out of it. So we do set a team goal that we chase every year, and we incentivize that with a rewards trip where we take our agents and their spouse on a trip each year. So, you know, I want to kind of pick your brains on how you guys incentivize both yourselves and your team. But man, Kevin, I had one guy came up to me and had the same conversation last year. He said, I sold more homes in 2020 than I did the year before. I made more money. I am totally excited and happy about that. Yet I feel like you're not satisfied, Jeff, with what I've done. And I think he has the ability to do a lot more in production than what he does, but that's not what his goals are. And I think it is important as we are setting goals and sitting down that we're opening up and listening to what everyone else has to say. So Aaron, I kind of want to go back to you. You got the big team. You guys have the huge numbers. That is such impressive stuff. Let's talk a little bit about, you know, when do you start trying to prepare for the year coming up, and how do you set your goals and your business plan?
So doing this as long as I have, I have records of every year that we've ever, you know, going back probably 15 years, really started taking records of everything. And we always start our goals usually about September or October. I start thinking about it in my mind and manifesting my thoughts and thinking about where I want to go and constantly changing, you know, with the market. So we really start that in October, and we incentivize everybody by transactions and actually by transactions and just the transaction part. But we really have a different why in our business that we talk about all the time. And this year for 2021, we really want to help more people in what we do. So in 2020 and the last couple of years, we do a couple of things different. And that's one of the things I love about these ICON meetings is that I get to hear these other great agents and what they do in their business and how they incentivize people. And I believe me, I'm writing notes constantly. And we have a couple of things in our business that I'd love to share with everybody. And a couple of them is for the sellers, we give a cash advance to sellers if needed. So we really put that out there and help people. If they're behind on their payments, if they need repairs on their houses and they don't have the money to do it to get them top dollar, we'll do that. We just don't want to buy their house. So we really try to give as much money and help as many people as possible during the course of the year. And it seems like the more people we help, the more money we give away, the more business that we do. So it works out very good for us. And besides the incentivizing our agents, it's just, you know, transactions. We have 50-50 splits for our agents. Then all the girls in the office get a transaction fee on top of every deal.
Man, that's really cool. Hey, Joe, Obviously last year had some interesting stuff with you losing as much time as you did. Did you find yourself during that time at all kind of reflecting and looking at, how you've run your business, what you want to change, what you want to do going forward? How did that impact everything?
So, with me losing that much time, it's really funny because I go stir crazy really quick, meaning like I always have to be doing something productive. So during that time, I actually started a whole new business. So, I also invest in real estate. I'm sure a lot of you guys do. I buy and hold, and I also do flips, and I also have some Airbnb properties. But I really used that time, and I was like, hey, if this ever happened again, what is a business that I could do from anywhere in the world that all I would need is either a phone or an internet connection? And so that's what I did with that time. So it's a little bit off of real estate, but I started actually a whole new business actually on Amazon. So that's what I did with that time. Obviously, we were still doing our day-to-day stuff, still prospecting, still following up and all that, but we literally couldn't show houses. So we couldn't show houses, we couldn't meet with clients or anything. So I actually built a whole new business. And surprisingly, that business, I think, closed out 2020 doing about 60,000 in that business the first year, and it's just grown. So very, very interesting time. I don't know how entrepreneurial other agents are, but I always try to look at, if I do have time, like what can I do to use that time.
No, I think that's awesome, and I think that probably aligns very much with how you became an Icon agent. Obviously, there is a lot of work that has to go into getting that reward, and you've obviously been someone who's not going to sit around and twiddle the thumbs. You're going to take adversity and figure out how to turn it into something. So I love that story. Yep. Kelly, what about you guys? What, kind of when you were sitting down and getting ready, coming into 2021, when do you guys really start putting all that together? What were your thought processes? What are you guys trying to do this year?
So I do a little event in the office every year, and it's not only my team. I open this up to anybody that's in my organization, that's in the local vicinity, and we have a little worksheet that we do that helps us kind of evaluate all of the important areas of our life and just kind of set goals for not only our business, but health and, our faith and relationships. And then we put together these little vision boards, and it's kind of nice to spend time with everyone and talk to everyone. But we've done that 3 years now. So we actually did that yesterday in our office. So it's kind of good just to get a group of people together talking about goals and, sharing a meal.
No, I love that. I think it's so important. We dropped the ball this year, probably not doing that, but just with everything going on, we've in the past had everything from my wife has a counselor background, so she's done a year of mindset training. We had one of our lenders come in one year that had a whole set of goals put together. We just tried to bring someone different in each year to pour into our team and give them the opportunity to sit down and reflect and put those goals on paper. I think it's so important. I love the vision board idea. I know that we've got a lot of people around our area here. We got a couple different EXP agents leading both some online stuff and some in-person vision board stuff over the next couple weeks. So really cool to hear you doing that. All right, Kevin, you got to be the one with the most on your hands right now. So congrats on the little one. And, how did that, I guess, let's just a little off topic. I don't think I put this on the sheet, but how did that kind of change your mindset and thought process to your goals for 2021?
Well, I think I started out in 2020 setting, some pretty big audacious goals for myself. One was to pay off my home, 2 was to have a son, 3 was to double my savings. And I was like, you know what, if I can hit those 3, then I had a good year. And then March happened and the world sort of shuts down. And I'm like, you know what? Like this, if you're ever going to persevere and you're ever going to push through a difficult time in your life, like this is when you're really tested. This is when your mettle really shows. And so I just put my head down as I have in the past. And I worked as hard as I could just to push towards those goals. And I was able to accomplish all three. You know, I mean, I don't know if I answered your question. I'm just excited.
No, and rightfully so, man. That's awesome. You know, Aaron, you know, you've got a lot of things going. I saw someone put in, you know, the chat. How do you handle all of this? I'd be interested to know, do you have an accountability partner? Do you have anyone who kind of helps you with staying on track for your goals? Uh-oh, I saw your note. Can you guys still hear me?
Yes.
Yes, loud and clear.
Yeah, Jeff, you're just coming in and out every now and then, but we can hear you.
Perfect. So, Aaron, I want to throw it to you. Do you have an accountability partner that holds you accountable for your goals?
Well, we have our team meetings every Wednesday at 9, and so every single week we look at our goals and we look at what we're, you know, striving to accomplish in everything that we do. And probably my number one accountability partner is his name is Bart Sloan. He runs my team, and he actually hired me 26 years ago. He's a great guy, really smart. Used to be like the VP of DR Horton in New Mexico. So Kevin might know him. By the way, Kevin, congratulations on the new son. That's so awesome.
Thank you.
So we bounce a lot of things off each other, and he definitely, you know, puts me in my place when I'm slacking and not doing what he knows I should be doing. He holds me accountable and talks to me about it. And hey, I have my youngest son holds me accountable. All the girls that work for me. I mean, we've been together a lot of years, so we all help each other. We're like one big family, so we all work together really good in that aspect.
No, I love that. We do the team accountability meeting as well. We do ours on Tuesday mornings at 10. And I think it's so important to each week revisit those goals and make sure that they are getting put right back in front of your face, knowing what you're chasing and what you're going after. Joe, what about you? Do you have an accountability partner that kind of holds you to your goals over the course of the year?
Yeah, I'm actually in a personal coaching group that goes over not just business, but all aspects of your life, from your relationships to your spiritual being. And so, yes, we basically every Monday we go over our goals and if we hit them for the previous week. And so, yes, that's kind of my accountability system. It's something that for anybody that's trying to achieve big things, that's what you need, because you're not always going to feel up to it. And, you know, you're actually going to perform better if other people are depending on you. So yeah, it really kind of keeps me in focus with things, because I know, you know, if I don't hit those goals, you know, they're not really big on excuses. So we really push each other pretty hard.
That's really cool. Kelly, Kevin, either one of you guys have an accountability partner or something else you're using similar to that?
There's 4 of us girls in our organization that are all ICON agents, and we have a group text and we check in with each other. It's actually become a really cool friendship, but we are always texting each other or setting up lunch just so we can kind of push each other and set goals with each other. And it has been amazing because just having that daily little text within our group, whether it's, you know, something that's business related or personal, it's really awesome to just kind of surround yourself with people that are, you know, really pushing to reach their goals and, you know, asking you what you're doing. So that's been very helpful, having that friendship and that little group text.
Really cool. Love it.
Yeah, I've got 2 accountability buddies in my sphere. One is my wife, and she definitely keeps me on track for both personal and family goals. And then I have a business partner named Gavin here in New Mexico. He and I started our team together about 3 years ago. And we keep a shared note, and we put all of our personal and our private and our public goals on there. And every now and then we get to celebrate over a beer whenever we check off one of those boxes on our goals for the year. So we keep a shared note on our iPhones, and it's pretty exciting whenever I see him update it or I update it, and we kind of get to go from there.
Let's talk about celebration real quick, because I think that's something I can personally speak to that I do not do a very good job on. I sometimes check the box on that goal and then I'm running a million miles an hour after the next one. Kelly, back to you. What are you doing to celebrate when you do hit your goals, or do you have anything kind of preset for that?
You know, I guess I don't really, other than, just me being excited when I hit a goal. I have not set up any type of reward for myself. Definitely something that I should consider.
I know we did it 2 years ago with our agents, and we had them set a $1 million, $3 million, $5 million, $8 million, and $10 million goal. And it was kind of started small and it grew over the course of the year. And as they hit different points, they were supposed to go and, some of it was taking their family to a theme park. Some of it was buying an item for themselves. Some of it was, a day at the spa. It could be anything, and all the way to big vacations. And, we probably failed them. We didn't hold them truly accountable to that. I wasn't going to tell them how to spend their money, but I do think it is important that we come up with some ways of rewarding ourselves when we do hit those goals along the way. What about you, Joe? Do you have anything kind of set up or in place for rewarding yourself?
No, not really anything set up for rewarding myself, but that's kind of one thing that in this last year that I really started focusing on, and something that we talk about in my coaching group a lot is celebrate the daily wins. What wins have you had, during your day? Because a lot of times we just focus on, the big home runs, but unless you have those daily wins, those consistent daily wins, you're not going to hit those home runs that you want to hit. So that's really what I've really changed my focus on, is just the small daily wins. Really what we call them is the base hits. So really the big things that we used to do pre-COVID was we traveled quite a bit. So, we'd go to a new country or something like that. But, as of right now, no really huge celebration, but just more focused on the daily small wins.
Very cool. Very cool. All right, let's turn it a little bit out of real estate. I think, Kevin, I'm going to come to you. You kind of hit on it, that I think you said you had an agent that said they didn't want to do the production that you do because they probably are looking for more of a work-life balance than what some of us may be working with. How do you balance that? How do you set goals, whether they're, health goals, spiritual goals, mental goals? What have you set for yourself this year?
So health-based goals, the pandemic was I guess it's definitely not over, but it was an opportunity for me to look back and change some of my habits and some of my mindsets. I had hobbies that all required a lot of time in my day. Luckily enough, my business partner introduced me to both mountain biking and cycling through the pandemic. So I found that I'm really going to put more time into that because it's not an entire day project. Prior to last year, I was an avid golfer. And the busier I got in real estate, the crappier I was at golf. And I realized that that's a half day of my life where I could be spending with my family. As my family grows, I realize I want to spend more time with them. So for me, my health is to make small movements and small actions daily. I wear an Apple Watch, and it holds me accountable more than anything else when it comes to my health and fitness. As far as spiritual goals, mine is to be the leader, both spiritually and financially in my household. And I was able to enroll both my kids in a Christian school this year, and that was a huge goal. And was able to somehow keep my sanity while the rest of most of New Mexico was having a homeschool. I was able to still produce and also, be that light in my family and keep them focused on the things that we're all headed towards, family goals and whatnot. As far as how you mentioned celebrating, I'm big on celebrating successes, and I hate to flounder in failure. So for me, when I have successes, I plan trips, I plan vacations, and I plan experiences for my family. And so I just try to stay as positive as I can and wake up with those mindsets. And that really helps me both keep my spiritual health and then mental game in check.
No, I think you're hitting it spot on, brother. You're doing a great job there. So, Aaron, what about yourself? What do you have set outside of, real estate wise? Anything big for this year?
Well, probably more than real estate goals are just, my personal goals and being grateful. And I start off my morning every single morning. I say this probably 2 or 3 times a day. Is I thank the universe or God, whatever you guys believe in. I think most of you probably believe in God. And I thank God for my wife and my life and my kids and my family, my personality, my good health, my good fortune, my finances, my work, everybody at my office. And then letting God know that I'm so grateful for what I have in the universe. But then I don't forget to ask for continuously good health, more finances, more happiness, because people are grateful and they're so thankful, but we forget to ask for more too, because God and the universe want to give you more. So I don't forget to ask for more as well. So I'm very focused on that. We're very focused on helping people. So we love to give money away. Every day I look for a way to give money. I know that sounds kind of weird, but it could be just really over tipping somebody or helping an organization, or I just look for a way every day to give some kind of money away to somebody. And then in 2021, we're starting a nonprofit finally, instead of, going to the rescue mission and doing all the things that we do throughout the year. We're starting our own nonprofit, which we're super excited about. So, and then our vision boards and everything we do, we talk about that as a team every Wednesday. Every quarter we watch The Secret together, and we go and help people as a team together, and just all these things in place, I think, is so much more important than even the real estate goals and the volume and the money we make. It's just all more important. And then the last thing besides that I want to share with everybody is, and I think every icon would agree, that my business is focused on making phone calls. This is a contact sport. It's not a do videos and social media and this and all that stuff's great. Commercials, TV, videos, everything we do is great. But every successful agent will tell you that it's a contact sport. And I know that phone calls drive my business. So like this morning already, I started making my phone calls as soon as I pull out of my driveway. And I have scripts on what I say, and it's very natural for me at this point. Every single person on my payroll has to make a contact. Even the transaction coordinators, marketing director, everybody makes a contact, not just a call, but a contact, one with an agent, one with a future client. And then my agents on my team, they're required to make at least 5 contacts. So we're very diligent about that, and they all know that I go nuts if we don't make our contact. I rather have a contact than take a listing, because I know that that's the ground floor for our business.
No, I love it. I wish I had my team sitting here, because I think they sometimes think I'm crazy when I will beat them over the heads on make phone calls. And there's a lot of ways to sell real estate. That's what I say all the time. You can be a social media influencer. You can do all kinds of different things. But I think it has been proven through and through that if you will get on the phone and you will have conversations and you will build relationships, you will sell houses, 100%. So, Kelly, what about yourself? Kind of outside of real estate, what do you got going this year?
So I really want to focus on just setting some boundaries. I feel like in 2020, I did not go on any vacations. I think it was just like work, 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 work every day, all day. And so one thing that I think is, something that I really, really want to start implementing right away is just setting boundaries and making sure that I'm setting aside time, uninterrupted time with my family. There's no emergencies in real estate, but sometimes we feel like we have to answer the phone at 8 o'clock at night. And, for me, a big one is just going to be setting those boundaries and reserving time for me and my family.
Yeah, that's great. Joe, what about you?
Big goals outside of real estate. This year, building a new home for my family. So that's something that I'm currently in the process of doing. Also, getting back to traveling this year. So that's one thing that we are excited to do as a family. Spend time as a family, getting back to traveling. And then health, really trying to get in the best shape of my life this year, because last year I found out that I was diagnosed with kidney failure, and so I actually have to get a transplant around this October, November. So really focusing on my health, and not just physical health, but also mental health. Taking the time in the morning to really center myself through meditation, through prayer, and really take time to, really be centered before I start my days. So it's really it's really brought back into focus. What are the real main priorities? We always get caught up in our business. We always have other goals and stuff, but really, when something big like this happens in your life, it really brings the main important things back into focus. So those are my goals for this year.
Well, I think that's really cool. I think we all, if you hear the common thread, people are talking about, they have to have goals outside of just selling real estate. And I think that's so important. I think we need to keep a true focus on our physical health, and to be able to run at the pace we're going to run, you're going to have to be physically healthy to be able to do this. But your mental and spiritual health can be equally as important. I can tell you, I had a little time where I was battling some stuff, and it was all mental battles. It was not physical battles. And those are sometimes the hardest ones to get over the hump. So, hey, let's transition. I do want to save a little time for Q&A at the end, but let's talk about newer agents that may be in the room, and as they're kind of getting started, Kevin, let's go back to you. What would you set as, the number one goal someone who's new to real estate could set for themselves in 2021?
Make it to year 2 in real estate. And I think what you're going to realize from that is you've got to recognize that your daily tasks today are whether or not you're going to make it 30 days from now, 60 days from now, 90 days from now. So creating a structure of learning, of training, of following those in your market that are doing well, and just doing the best you can to learn from those who are already producing. I always try and point new agents to the cloud office. There is more training in the cloud office than I could ever have time to learn, have time to teach. So for my new agents, I say, look, if you're not out actively in front of clients and you're not working your CRMs and you're not working your sphere of influence, then you need to be taking classes. And I appreciate when they come to me and train me on something new, because they're doing those types of tasks.
That's awesome. Kelly, what about you? What would you kind of throw out as a year 1 goal?
Well, I think the important thing is learning how to break your goals down into smaller goals. And so, we do kind of talk about, how many transactions would they hope to close in their first year, and then breaking that down into quarterly goals. And so that's a big one. And I really do like what he just said about making it to year 2, because I know sometimes new agents can get discouraged. And I think the more that you just focus on work and being present and actually making a schedule, even if you don't have any transactions going currently, just setting up a work schedule where you know you're going to sit down and work on marketing or pick up the phone and meet someone to start building relationships. So, you know, just being really thoughtful about your schedule and you know, making sure that you're spending time in the business, and whatever your goals are, just figure out how to break them into smaller goals.
Love it. Joe, what about you? What's the kind of takeaway or gold nugget you'd share with a year 1 agent?
Really, I mean, couple nuggets. Really find your routine for success. In this business, when you are a new agent, you obviously don't have any structure because you're self-employed. And so many agents do things that are very non-productive, but there's really only a few things that we can do that actually produce income: prospecting, meeting with a client, negotiating an offer. And so for a new agent, you really have to structure your day for success. And so me, to this day, that's really time blocking out my day. My prospecting every single day is from 10 to noon. And I know if I do that and nothing else, my business is going to be good. So it's really having that pig-headed discipline and building out that schedule and making sure that you're getting done the most important thing in the day early in the morning.
Yep, absolutely. I think having time blocked and knowing when you're going to prospect each day is so important. Aaron, why don't you kind of wrap this one up for us? What would you share with someone in year 1?
Well, I hope I don't get too long-winded on this one. Cut me off if I do, please. I won't get offended. But a couple things for new agents that are so important, and listen to these guys that have been in the business a long time, new agents, because believe me, we're almost like parents and grandparents, right? We've been there, done that. So we really want to share with you. So the first thing, guys, is make sure you create a good database, and everybody that you know and everybody you talk to, make sure that you know if they're going to use you in business or not. You know, Brian Buffini had this mayor campaign, which was, if you were to buy or sell a house or had a friend or a family member that was, am I the agent you would use or refer business to? Well, know that by heart and ask everybody you know that question. And another thing that I've learned over the years too is when you make phone calls and you talk to people, make sure your business first, personal second. You know, people have the tendency to call somebody and then talk about their life and how's the family and how's this. And then after 10 minutes of personal, they go to the business question, and it almost sounds kind of fake or phony. So people prefer you to be straight with them. Make the phone call, ask the business question. Hey, if you're going to buy a house or sell one, am I the guy you would use? No? Okay, no problem. Yes? Great. Now ask how the kids are, etc. It's so much more genuine. So make sure you make those calls. Don't take it for granted that someone's going to use you or not, because they probably won't. You got to ask that question. That's the first thing. The next thing is every single person, I learned this very early on in my career, every single person that I give money to, whether it's an employee or a team member, a title company, a landscaper, inspector, every single person refers and uses the real estate guy. Every single person. So as a new agent, I'd find a new loan officer, I'd go find a new escrow officer, I'd find a new inspector and talk to those guys and go, look, I want to form this alliance with you. I'm going to refer, will you refer me? Obviously, you got to be knowledgeable and confident in what you do, and they'll refer you, but nobody gets a check from the real estate guy unless they use me. Every radio station, every TV, every social media guy I work with, every person in my office uses the real estate guy and refers them, and every one of my team members actually pay for themselves through doing that. So start off right that way, guys, and you'll see the rewards very quickly. Also, I have a great 5 steps on answering the phone that I'm going to put in the chat box, Janessa@therealestateguyLV.com. If you guys want a couple of these scripts that I put together over the years, just email Janessa and I'll have her email them to you. They're very good scripts, and I've used them successfully over the years, so love to share them with all of our EXP family.
Thank you for doing that. All right, guys, let's open this up to some questions. I know I saw someone ask early on about, any books that we might recommend. Guys, maybe throw some answers out there on that. And then in the meantime, if someone has a question, feel free to turn your mic on and ask or put it in the chat box.
I got a question. It's Tim Lennon. Could you guys just really quickly tell me where you all came from before you joined EXP?
I'll go first, if that's all right. I started at a boutique brokerage, worked there for 2 months, and then the entire brokerage moved over to EXP in 2012.
I was also at a boutique brokerage. My friend helped me get licensed and she mentored me, and I was there for about 3 years before I left.
I owned a company called 048 Realty, has started that company since 2003, and literally left the company that I owned and became an agent with EXP. And the broker that worked for me is actually our state broker now, Spencer Walden, which he's fantastic. So that's where I came from.
I was at sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I was at a small boutique firm right here in the Lake Norman area. So we were a team of, I'd call it 8 to 12 agents probably at our office. And they actually just came on and joined EXP within the last few months.
I was with a local Keller Williams Market Center. So I ran a team there where we were the number one team at that market center, and saw the opportunity with EXP, and it made sense. It wasn't in my market yet, so I was able to establish it in my market, and we're at almost, I think, 100 agents now. So it's turned out really good.
Very impressive. Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Can I ask a quick question? Hello?
Hello.
Sure. Ask the question. Sure.
Oh, yes. Okay, good. I wasn't sure if you guys could hear me. Can you suggest how a new agent coming into EXP could get connected with a team? I'm inspired by all of you guys talking about your team meetings and having, goals with each other and helping with each other. I'm a new agent in EXP, and I feel like that's what's missing. I'm kind of feel like I'm out on an island by myself. It'd be nice to know if there's a way to hook up with a team or something where there's a little bit more camaraderie and goal setting and idea sharing, etc. That's a little more localized.
You know what, Carrie? I'll start off, guys, if you don't mind. You made a good point, because I should have said that earlier. Go to your title company and find out who are like the top 10 teams that are in the city, or go to your state broker and ask them, who are the larger EXP teams. And as a new agent, I wouldn't worry about commission splits and all of that mess too much, because you just need to learn the business. So join a very productive team. I always say, my daughter goes to college in Hawaii. If I was to move to Hawaii, even though I know what I'm doing, I would find the largest team in Hawaii and go, hey, I want to work with you guys, and I don't mind splitting 50-50, because I don't know their culture, and I want to learn the terrain. I want to learn the business in Hawaii. So you made a good point, Carrie. Find a good team, go interview with them, and just work hard, put your head down, and learn what they're doing, because obviously they're successful, and a lot of that's going to rub off on you.
I will echo that. I have said forever, and if it was, I guess I was asking the questions, but if I was going to be setting goals for an agent year one, my first goal would be to find the best team you can connect with in the area and get on that team. It's how I learned this business. It projected my career so much faster than being out on my own, and it will pay dividends forever for what I learned in those time frames.
And do you recommend? Thank you for all that. Do you recommend that the team should be local? What if there is not any EXP teams where I'm located?
I would suggest finding whoever the top producing EXP agent is in your market, and go see if they want to start one.
Okay, thanks.
Who was just talking? We have an EXP agent that is helping people that are kind of lost out there, and I can hook you up into the work group or workplace. Talking.
Carrie Jett, and I'm in Oregon.
Okay, I'm going to send you a link. I'm going to friend you on a workplace and add you to this one group that I think will really help you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Thanks, Sam.
You're welcome.
Hey, Jeff, Jeff and Joe and Kelly and Kevin, I got a question for you guys, and tell me your thoughts on this, because I don't want to speak out of turn, but I'm really working hard in 2021 to build my downline. Right, it's very important to me because I obviously I know what the revenue share will do for my retirement and everything, but I see a lot of, like, when we attract an EXP agent, no matter where they're from, I make it. We take care of them as best as we can, right? We don't just introduce them to the company, but we try to support them and help them with their business. Are you guys finding that there's sometimes, I mean, not all the time, that there's EXP agents out there that are just kind of lost and they don't know, like maybe Carrie was just talking about, that need some direction and help? I mean, do you think that maybe the sponsor should maybe participate and help them out a little bit more? I mean, what's your thoughts on that?
I have 2 agents that we actually adopted. They're part of another organization, and we do a lot with our organization. We do realtor breakfasts, we do Zoom calls, we get together 1 or 2 times a quarter, and we have some type of event together, and we invite agents from outside the company as well. However, I had 2 agents that were sponsored into the company and just kind of ghosted, and they asked if we would adopt them, and so we did. There's no compensation there or anything, but they join in on our Zoom calls, and we just kind of feed them whatever they were missing, and they get that from us, and we've actually become friends. They're really cool people, and I think that's the right thing to do.
Yeah. I have a local office in my marketplace, and so we kind of I have obviously paid staff, and so we support any of the agents, even if they're not in our organization as well. Just because, yes, we've kind of seen some of that where people are sponsored and they're just kind of hanging out there, and so we just try to help as many agents as we can. Now that the organization's growing pretty big, we're actually this year starting to host a monthly Zoom call just on productivity, just because some of our organization's not here locally. So we also have kind of a system to get them set up on like enterprise and have them really understand those tools. So we've kind of systematized some of the stuff, so it's not like, oh, here you go, you're signed up with EXP, good luck, because I do think that's important, but that's what we're doing right now.
Yeah, and EXP has so many, I mean, we have so many tools, right? All the training and like the agents that are in this meeting right now, EXP has so many tools for an agent just to go into the world. I tell all agents, go into the world, because the agents that are productive, that stay with EXP, are the ones that go into the world and talk to people and go to trainings. Did you just get the domain for me? I think I was trying to get the domain name. Kelly, you'll like this one. adoptedexpagent.com. That's my new nonprofit for 2021. Anyways, Happy New Year, everybody.
Awesome, guys. Well, I want to be respectful of these guys' time. Joe, Kelly, Aaron, Kevin, thank you so much. A lot of really good information shared. I like just kind of going a different route today and different conversations. Sorry, it looked like I got kicked out, but guys, thank you so much for your time. Guys that were in here listening, I hope this was helpful. And always, you can reach out to any of us on stage through our EXP emails, and I'm sure we'd be more than happy to help.
And Carrie, I'm in Southern California, but if you want to connect with me, I'm more than willing to help you if you're lost in something. I've been around, I guess, almost 2 years, but I'm open to help people if they need assistance with anything.
Thank you very much.
And what is your workplace name? Is it Carrie Jet? I'm having a hard time finding you.
Karie.
Can we get a dance off the stage? Can everybody dance? Function. There we go. There we go. Function F7.
Thanks, guys.
I was on mobile earlier and I missed, there was an agent that had mentioned something about
I found you. I found you, Carrie.
an advance program for their buyers, I believe, or like just giving back. Which agent was that? I'd like to reach out.
So, yeah, I think everybody's kind of exiting, but we have a program that we put together, and I could, if you email Janessa, I put it in the chat box. So what we do is, and it's a little risky, but we give cash advances to our sellers before they close. So, you know, sometimes people are behind on their payments. Sometimes they need some repair money. A lot of times, you know, all the money when they sell the home, all the money they have is in the equity of their house. And if they're relocating out of state or moving, they have to wait till their house closes to get the money, but they have to be moved out of the house already. So you're doing lease backs and all this stuff. So we have a program that will give, you know, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 to the seller. We'll have them sign our paperwork that was put together by our local attorney. I have a real estate attorney, and he's a real estate broker as well that put some paperwork to get me together for me. So we have our seller signed. So if for some reason I don't get paid, we can get that, you know, through a lien on their property or whatever. I've only had to do that once in all these years. So it's been working very successful for me. So if you email Janessa, I'll have her actually email what my attorney put together for you. But I would highly recommend that you talk to a local attorney in your area and go over it with them, because every state has different rules and regulations. And I don't want to give you any information that may get you in trouble, you know, or not. Okay?
Of course, okay. Perfect. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
Guys, thanks again for your time, and best of luck as everyone attacks the weekend.